Fresh water is precious in Kahraman. The hills are dry, and the fast-flowing streams that cascade down the jagged rocks from the north are few and far between, and are jealously guarded by one Demiro or another. This season, the bounty is doubly precious. Healing power surges in every drop of water, restoring any who drink or bathe in it. Orc and human alike partake of its supernatural medicinal qualities, and in the months following the summer solstice, the spring magic laid over Kahraman by the voice of the quiet forest saves the lives of more than 1,000 Imperial soldiers. Nearly 30,000 Yutun push west from Serra Damata into Serra Briante and Gambit. They are matched roughly by the same force of Imperial troops pushing east. 2 waves of soldiers smash together in the foothills and on the plains, neither prepared to give an inch to the other. The Drakes, fresh from Madruga, join the strong Reids, tired and dusty after the long march east from Astalat. The quiet steppe come down past Fort Braden and Upwald, bolstered by the garrison that has spent the last season slowing the Yutun advance. Between them, the Drakes in the quiet steppe are also accompanied by 15,000 troops under the banners of heroic Imperial captains. The lion's share fight with the marchers, but enough captains rally to the Navarre army to nearly double their numbers. Both marcher armies are woven with potent enchantments that grant them supernatural clarity of thought, easily allowing them to divine weak points in the enemy advance and take advantage of them. A glacial citadel, an edifice of ice and black stone, is raised over Serra Briante by the power of Dornish witches. It serves as a base of operations for the Imperial pushed eastward, and a potent protection for the town and mine that bear the same name. Perhaps ironically, it seems to be the same citadel raised by the Yutun in the same place 2 years ago, complete with a garrison of massive orc-like warriors in furs and leathers, marked with spiral tattoos. Now these heralds of Cath and Cannae hurl their deadly barbed spears down from the walls onto the orcs they once supported. The Jotun fighting is fierce around the town of Briante, with the main force of the Yutun clearly seeking to capture the Great Mine once again. They have taken this route before, and know the hills well. Indeed, it seems that there are orcs fighting under the Firebird banner who know the hills at least as well as the Freeborn do. Former bandits who once lived in the heights between Kahraman and Liathavan, recruited by the Yutun during the last foray into the Cinnabar Hills. This time, however, the Yutun are clearly interested in more than just the Mithril mine. They push onto the dry plains of Gambit as well, capturing the town of Ryota that marks the southernmost reach of the northern hills. Forewarned by the diviners of the town, or more likely by common sense, many of the citizens have already fled south along the road through Madruga to seek refuge in Serravado. Predatory gambling houses in the Paradors welcome them with open arms, for as long as their coin holds out, of course. For the first 2 months it seems certain that the campaign will end in stalemate. Both forces push against one another, a tide that ebbs and flows. At first the Yutun have the upper hand, but when the Imperial forces arrive, they drive them back from the land that they've conquered. Then the Yutun rally and push back, driving to the walls of Briante itself. The Yutun are clearly ready to deal with a fortification. No doubt they intended to lay siege to Fort Braden, but their siege towers and catapults are just as effective in facing the magical citadel raised in Serra Briante. Some of the soldiers here have faced these siege engines before. The last time the Yutun laid siege to Serra Briante, they drove the defenders back even with their frigid allies from the Summer Realm. This time, however, they are unable to press their advantage. 6 weeks after the summer solstice, a concerted push by the Imperial forces decisively hammers the Yutun back. At the same time, a second push drives them out of Ryota. Gaining momentum, the armies of the Marchers and the Brass Coast, strengthened by the heroes in the garrison of the 2 fortifications, breaks the Jotun advance and drives them west. The Orc armies attempt to stand at Damata, but this time they have no magical citadel of their own. 3 days of fighting sees the town and its beautiful walls alike severely damaged, but the Jotun are defeated and forced to retreat. The Imperial armies give them no chance to regroup, hounding them across the hills of Damata and the plains of Gambit until they are driven at last out of Kahraman altogether and back into Rhinos. All told, thanks to the rivers of life, The Empire has only lost around 1,000 soldiers. The Orcs are estimated to have lost around the same number of their own warriors. The strong Reids ensure that the priests and the physics of both sides are given time to tend their fallen soldiers. Unlike the Jotun in the north, the southern forces are more suspicious, expecting a trap. They cannot fail to be aware of the Navarre present in Kahraman. But for the most part, this détente holds. The Empire holds Kahraman entirely once more. It was a close-run thing, if not for their magic and the great number of independent captains who fought alongside their armies. It is likely that this season of fighting in Kahraman might have ended very differently. Game information. The Empire holds all regions of Kahraman and has reclaimed the Dalmatian cliffs. The white granite quarry will need to be reallocated by the Senate, which can be done this season, and will be available for appointment next season. The town of Damata and its priceless walls have been badly damaged in the fighting. The civil service are assessing the damage. A total victory for the Empire, but reasonably close as things go. There's a lot of factors here, and it's one of those campaigns where if any one of them was not in place, the outcome would have been different.